that there are only 2 days in the year that nothing can be done. One is yesterday, and the other is tomorrow. Today is the right day to love, to believe, to do, and mostly live. So on that note, today we are going to do a little digging into the seat of the soul. Let me begin by telling you what this book is not. It is not a light read. It is not a once and done read. And it is not a just to feel good kind of book either. What it is, though, is a thought-provoking, eye-opening, and downright challenging book that I say requires both a notebook and a highlighter as companions. First of all, I absolutely love the reference to the seat. To me, it implies an open invitation. You know, an empty spot, just waiting for you to come sit down. Buckle up or not, you have something coming. A movie, a meal, a ride, a life experience. Doesn't really matter. All of life has meaning and purpose. Something I find rather interesting is actually about the author himself, Gary Zukav. Most people are familiar with him due to the fact that he is a New York Times best-selling author, 4 times over, by the way. And he has frequently appeared on The Oprah Show. His credentials include being a Harvard graduate, and he's even received the Albert Einstein Award for his achievements in the psychosocial growth arena. But you may be surprised to know that he is also a veteran of the U.S. Army Special Forces, a Green Beret. Now, when one thinks of Special Forces, tranquility and humility would probably not be the words that would come to mind. That is why the fact that this book absolutely reads through such a calming tone, to me, is quite remarkable. The book itself is comprised of 16 chapters, which ultimately are grouped into 4 different sections, beginning with the introduction, then creation, responsibility, and power. It starts by uncovering what soul really means, how and why discovering non-physical reality is of utmost importance, and how and why to live a life from a place of what he refers to as authentic power. Now, the best way for me to describe that idea is this: that the human soul is the impersonal place where energy is transformed into matter. It is very vast and incorporates each one of our unique personality's life experience into it. When we as individuals align ourselves with and learn to fully serve that energy, we are now sitting with authentic power, which is the deepest source of meaning in our lives. The author introduces and dives into some pretty heavy topics like karma, evolution, and intuition. But not in the typical sense, though. For instance, regarding karma, the author presents the idea that there are certain aspects of humanity's collective soul that are, and I love the word he uses here, splintered. Those aspects require healing and maturity, which can only be accomplished through interaction on a physical level. So, as a result, we as individual soul carriers, so to speak, are chosen to experience this thing called life as a contribution to the whole of humanity's soul evolution. This concept, and I quote, transcends religiosity and spirituality, which is why some of the underlying beliefs discussed may be slightly controversial or even a bit taboo for the typical Western Christian. Topics such as reincarnation and reverence are not left untouched. The author writes on familiar areas such as forgiveness, awareness, and prayer, and also some not so familiar areas such as quantum physics, intention, and the existence of illusions. The book contains a plethora of information and insights, all while using a little bit of humor and deeply pointed observations about our own species. The author uses mostly common vocabulary, but it is definitely speckled with an array of intellectual words, creatively patterned to explain some pretty complex concepts, though. The book, in my opinion, is full of what Oprah would call aha moments for me. And speaking of Oprah, she wrote the preface for the 25th year anniversary edition, which is the one that I read. She said that the seat of the soul changed the way she saw herself and the way that she viewed the world. Maya Angelou, who also wrote a preface for the book, has read the book 10 times and still called it outrageous. In a good way, of course. I agree with them both. But for me personally, I found it very comforting being able to spend quality time reflecting on the unity of humankind while reading this book, especially in this era where there seems to be such division being promoted. And it was also quite empowering contemplating the dynamics of universal energy and trust. To understand that each of us are really on just a fragment of what is truly a journey of a lifetime is deeply humbling and moving. A helpful addition to this anniversary edition is the study guide in the back, which first gives you some questions to ask yourself, which is great for reflection, a life lesson or a helpful thought for each chapter, and even some practical exercises to try, some of them which are really profound. My favorite was the exercise on reverence, chapter 3. Be sure to try that one. Overall, this book encouraged me to push the boundaries of my own beliefs, laid out some practical wisdom for engaging in life through a lens of not only humility and acceptance, but also strength and courage. There are many excerpts from this book that impacted me, but this one I believe takes the cake, so they say. When the deepest part of you becomes engaged in what you are doing, when your activities and actions become gratifying and purposeful, when what you do serves both yourself and others, when you don't tire within but seek the sweet satisfaction of your life and your work, you are doing what you were meant to be doing. The personality that is engaged in the work of its soul is buoyant. It is not burdened with negativity. It does not fear. It experiences purposefulness and meaning. It delights in its work and in others. It is both fulfilled and fulfilling. So as someone into mindful living, you'll definitely enjoy reading this book, The Seat of the Soul. You won't put it down being unaffected, I tell you. And since you're here and obviously seeking to raise your level of perspective, go check out the rest of my channel's videos. Some great insight there too. So thanks for watching and happy reading. Till next time, I am Laureen, and this is Your Light. Namaste.